Time 2019 was a historic year for college basketball. Here in the country, the Letran Knights took the championship in the NCAA, while the Ateneo Blue Eagles and the NU Lady Bulldogs both swept their way to the top in the UAAP. Now, what lies ahead in college hoops in 2020? Joining me right now is none other than Sports Desk Analyst Coach Ronnie. Magsanoc. Coach, good morning. How was your weekend? Good weekend?
Always good, Andrew.
Yeah, I saw you Saturday for the NBA. Coach, pag-unayan na muna natin ang NCAA. Let's get it out of the way. Beda swept the elimination round, 18-0. They looked like they were poised to sweep the whole tournament, but then the Letran Knights, flashes of season 91, kung saan na-upset din ang Beda once game 1 and 3, and then winning the crown. What your thoughts on season 95?
Well, I thought that the Letran Knights came from the bottom of the Final Four and pulled off one of the biggest surprise of the year against an unbeaten Beda Red Lions. But I think game 1 showed that Letran's quest to make it to the top was helped by the fact that they endured a twice-to-beat disadvantage and eventually made it to the finals. Ang laking bagay nun kasi nag-survive sila And they were sharper, they were more ready, and of course, they had to thank Coach Bonitan for piloting this team and just forcing his players to overachieve. Because it's not easy just bringing down the reign of the Red Lions who've been at the top of the heap for the last few years. Pero sila Yu, sila Batiler, of course, sila Balanza are now big names in amateur basketball. And more than that, they have transitioned from the NCAA and now are about to make a leap or have made their leap to the pro ranks. At hindi lang sila, pati sila Ambohot, lahat yan, ngayon, hindi lang kilala, kundi inaabangan na. Tinitignan na ng mga scouts. Katulad ni Ambohot, who was already named as
part of the 2023
for the 23 for 23.
Coach, to have that Cinderella story is one thing, but to defend your crown is another. Can the Letran Knights keep or retain that crown this year? I know it's still a long way. Pero mawawala ngayong Jeric Balanza. Can Letran keep up and, defend that title?
Well, I think we have to highlight the fact that ang Letran did not have a foreign student in its fold. I think starting next year, ang foreign student athletes will not be allowed to play anymore in the NCAA, and that will level the playing field. When you say level the playing field, yung mga teams, mga schools na sanay na wala, mas lalakas ang loob given na mawawala na yung mga dating reinforcements. And I believe they have a good chance to defend their crown. I just read somewhere na si Joshua Ramirez and Brutas will already be a part of the team next year to take over the spot of Balanza and Batiler. So it's going to be a recruitment war in the next few months. And hindi lang sa NCAA kasi lahat ng magagaling pupunta yan sa mga destination schools, meaning schools which have winning programs. So at least 4 sa UAAP pupuntahan, 4 sa NCAA pupuntahan. Yun ang pag-aagawan na puntahan Pagkatapos noon, yung mga sumunod na halos pumasok sa Final Four, yun na gustong salihan ng mga players because you always want to play for a winning program. Pero sa ngayon, it will be Letran, of course, being the reigning champions, and then Beda, which will parade Ryan Amsali starting next year. And then, of course, the other Final Four teams na hindi pinalad makarating sa champion.
How about Beda? They've been really dominant the past decade dito sa NCAA. What should they do to reclaim the crown? Because they still have some key pieces part of that lineup. Nandun pa rin yung Bandana brothers nila. Nandun pa si Calvin Oftana.
Yes.
What can Beda do?
Carino nandun pa rin.
Ken Carino.
I believe that they're going to be a potent team and ever hungry. Alam mo si Coach Boyet, season talaga yan Hindi lang sa marunong manalo, kundi marunong din tumanggap ng pagkatalo at marunong bumangon. Because mahirap yun Pero siya, may kakayahan siya at meron siyang kapatunayan na he's the winningest college coach, I believe, in the last decade. Sa dami ng championships for Beda. So, you cannot win it all. Diba? You win some, you lose some. And he will definitely bounce back. And I know for a fact that isa sa mga keys sa success ni Coach Boyet is yung recruitment ball that keeps rolling for Beda dahil marami ring mga alumni na tumutulong all over the country, all over the world na pag merong mga high school talents, binabato agad para mapabilang na kasi grabe ang recruitment. Grabe talaga.
Alam mo yan.
Medyo.
Coach, teams to look out for, nabanggit mo nga yung other playoff teams sa NCAA. Sino yung mga naririnig mo na dapat abangan sa NCAA sa season 96?
Alam mo, sa akin yung St. Benilde, yung Blazers, should have been there.
ilang beses na, no, na hindi lang namimiss lang
Kasi
ng
maganda
Final
yung
Four.
programa talaga.
Coach T.Y. Tang,
Maganda,
si Coach Charles Chu.
Pero for whatever reason, they were not able to make it to the Final Four. But I still believe that they are headed to in the right direction. And ang barrier sa kanila is to make it to the Final Four.
Yes.
Pero pag nakarating ka ron, lumalakas ang loob ng mga bata. So they're a team to watch out for. And San Sebastian, of course, even with the graduation of Bulanadi. Kasi, like I said, pag may direction, pag maganda yung programa, pag well-organized, si Coach Egay Macaraya laging nandun sa hanay na yan, di ba? He may not have the strongest roster, but he always has the right direction. And then he tries to bring in the players doon sa, of course, sa programa ng San Sebastian. Dahil dyan din naman talaga siya nanggaling. And you cannot overlook si Coach Topex, who's been frustrated in the last few years. But I know that this will be a huge challenge for him, given that wala na nga na foreign student athlete. But ready yan. Ready yan. Huwag kalimutan si Coach Frankie Lim at ang Perpetual Altas will be out there to make a strong run, of course.
Coach, time to discuss the UAAP kanina, NCAA. Coach, your thoughts on UAAP basketball in 2019? It was also exciting. Ateneo being invincible, winning the title, sweeping the tournament. Perfection, but still, nonetheless, exciting college basketball.
Exciting. Simply because USTO was able to get past UP. FAU was always there. But yung ascension ng UST, yun ang, I think, story of the year. And of course, yung dominance still ng Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Pagtanggalin mo nga Ateneo, parang pantay-pantay yung laban.
Yun, parang naglalaban sila para sa second. Parang ganun lumalabas. Pero nagpakita naman at nagsabi ng matinding respeto si Coach Tab Balvin sa ginagawa ni Coach Aldin Ayo. And he relishes the challenge dahil minsan kailangan mo ng ganun para maitaas mo pa yung level na hirap nang abutin. Diba? Walang nakakaabot
Coach, pinag-usapan natin yung letran kanina, nawala na nga sila Balanza, pumunta sa pros. How about Ateneo? Tinitingnan ko nga, losing 5 key players. So 5 to. Third year Ravenna, the Nieto twins, Matt and Mike, Isaac Go and Adrian Wong, all key players sa sistema ni Coach Tab Baldwin. Does Ateneo still have enough to get that 4-peat this year? I don't want to discount Coach Tab Baldwin, but losing these pieces will be a huge blow to the Blue Eagles.
These are key names to the 3-peat of the Blue Eagles, but they're more than enough. They really have more than enough. Pag nakita mo yung team B ng Ateneo, talagang lahat yun, alam mo, pwedeng maglaro sa Team A. And then you have the Ramos brothers coming in.
Dwight Ramos, yeah.
And his brother will play 5 years. Si Dwight will play, I think, 2. Yeah. So, and then the return of Mendoza, Jolo Mendoza,
yeah.
And Verano also. So that fortifies the front line with Matthew Daves also able to step in and prove that he is a big man to reckon with. And then Ange Kwame has 3 more years.
The emergence of SJ Belangel.
Navarro, SJ Belangel will take over the point guard spot. Tyler Teo will be there, right beside him. Pero yung exciting dyan is yung Ramos brothers kasi nasa Gilas lineup na nga yun di ba? Pool yun So I think they're more than enough. And it's going to be a huge challenge again for the 6 other teams to stop Ateneo's role. But sabi mo nga, kung exciting yung nakaraang season, matindi rin ang build-up ng mga teams. No? I'm looking around the landscape at the recruitment wars continues up to now.
How about the USC Growling Tigers? What a season for them. They may have lost the championship to Ateneo, but still something to be proud of. Mawala si Subido, but this is still a young, solid UST team under Coach Alden Ayo. Your thoughts on UST and how will they face itong season 83? Are they considered a contender right away?
Of course. When last year they were under the radar, ito hindi mo na maitatago maski na i-deflect mo yung roster power mo. You have Chabio as your anchor, and then Ren Sabando is there. At wag natin kakalimutan na si Mark Nono will be a sophomore next year. So he'll continue to grow and get better and stronger for sure.
And faster.
Oh, right. And they have this young guard coming in, Joshua Fontanille, was really good. And of course, I believe Manaytay, who comes from Sacred Heart Cebu, is also on board. So si Coach Aldin, mahilig siya sa unheralded names pero mabibigat, may laro, may laman. Pero si Joshua Fontanilla, magaling talagang gwardiya yan.
Pasok sa sistema pa ni Coach.
Oo, at pati si Coach Jimmy Manansala is also on board, head coach of St. Clair, who nurtured Joshua Fontanilla, taken in ni Coach Alden Ayo. So, hindi lang fino-fortify yung roster power, kundi yung think tank, pinapatibay din. Dahil minsan, doon nagkakatalo, At of course, kailangan mo rin na yung recruitment kasi hindi lang naman yung this and that.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
yung program.
yeah.
Yung connection,
Yes,
importante.
tama.
So, kaya nagkakaroon ng ganong klaseng mga moves yung mga management.
Siyempre, titingnan din natin dyan other big threats for Ateneo. Actually, yung other, kumbaga, magiging threats sa Ateneo. Sino mga nakikita mo na, alam natin, UST, nandyan na yan, definitely.
Yes.
Ano yung mga ibang pa nakikita na pwedeng can give Ateneo a run for their money?
Tingnan natin ulit yung mga Final Four teams na pumasok doon muna tayo. UP will always be a contender right now given that Bright Acuete and Kobe Paras and hopefully Richie Rivera will still be playing for Coach Boy Perasol next year.
At part ka na ng coaching staff nitong UP Fighting Maroons.
Antayin natin.
Along with the Tower of Power, Benji Paras.
Pero alam mo, yung FEU,
Yeah.
kung si Pat Chuente yung naglaro sa kanila, meron silang, hindi ko naman sinasabing mas magaling, pero I saw him in the off-season, and he was dominant. But a few days before the UAAP started, he was disallowed because of some technical issues regarding his eligibility. And that's the reason why Pat Chuente took over. Ang galing nun. Ang galing
Sa
talaga
FEU.
nun. Ang galing talaga nun. So if he's the one going to see action for FEU, given the losses due to graduation, I'd still say that that's a solid Final Four team. Tapos mag-grow na rin yung mga players ni Coach Franz, even with the departure of Val Chauca. Kasi alam mo, minsan isang taon lang ang kailangan para ma-season yung mga players. Pero sa akin, ang isang dark horse will be the Bulldogs.
And you?
Yes. Whereas before, yung recruitment, kukunin mo sa ibang schools, ito homegrown. Yung NU Bullpups, tremendous roster power. And the man in charge of that has been Goldwyn Monteverde, winning titles left and right. Pero ito ngayon, yung transition, yung connection, direction na Jerry Abadiano, along the template of Mark Nonoy, Kevin Kiambao, recent MVP in the last competition that they played in. Carl Tamayo may have been hurt a couple of times, but probably next to Kai Soto is Carl Tamayo is the next most important big man in Philippine basketball at 6'9", so agile, smart, and seasoned na ito eh.
Pati nandun nga yung continuity, sabi mo dahil si Goldwyn Monteverde din yung magiging head coach na ng NU. I heard Christian Luanzon also part of their assistant coaching staff. But how about the possible departure of the Ildefonso brothers? Because that will be huge. Dave and Sean, who magandang pinakita nung last season.
Sila talagang backbone.
Wala pa naman yung official na sinasabi na mawawala na sila. But pinag-uusap-usapan yon. How will that affect itong NU Bulldogs?
Well, that will be a drawback for sure. And a big plus kung saan man sila pupunta, if ever matuloy. Kasi may mga ugong-ugong nga. But I'm sure that even before Coach Goldwyn took over, meron na siyang blueprint eh. At sabi nga natin yung succession, yung direction. Kasi, alam mo, highly recruited dyan sila, Kevin, sila Jerry, sila Carl, inaabangan talaga yan dahil mga national players yan.
Oo. At buti din na umalis dun sa NU.
Had a chance to work alongside them. Magagaling talaga sila. Ibang level. Yun ang masasabi ko. When I saw them, mahuhusay itong mga batang to. Hindi sila yung bata maglaro. Hindi sila ganon. Bata sila, mama sila maglaro. And they can play already at a level. Kumbaga, game ready na.
Ready na sa UAAP.
Hindi mo na antayin ng 2-3 laro. Okay na, hindi. Paglaro, magaling na. Mahusay talaga sila.
Okay, Coach, pag-usapan natin na
100? Hindi. 110.
110 yung habol, di ba yung record? Hindi, pero kakaya ba nilang abutin yung 100 parang easily para sa'yo? It's a yes.
110 nga sinabi ko kasi 2-round sweep eh. Tapos 112 dahil yung finals.
Pag-usapan natin yung dominance itong NU Lady Bulldogs in the UAAP women's basketball for the past how many seasons now under Coach Pat Aquino?
Alam mo, wala pa ako nakitang ganyan eh. Kasi maski yung softball record ng Adamson Falcons, nabit na nila eh. Diba? Sa tagal, inabot ka ng development ng mga kalaban. Pero ito, bago sila maka-level up sa'yo, nakapag-recruit ka na naman. It's again, it boils down to the direction and the leadership of Coach Patrick Aquino with the support that he gets. And the patience that he has in terms of traveling, competing, recruiting over and over and over again, at least in the last, how many months? That's 6 years times 12 months, 72 months na yung ginagawa yan. At alam mo, mawawala si Jack Animam na hindi nakapaglaro dun sa finals, na nag-champion pa rin sila via sweep. Pero sinong natitira? Si Itesi,
Rene Itesi,
si Hayes,
Kelly Hayes,
si Pinggol, si Sorada, si Clarin. Who knows if Ella Fajardo will be on board. And these are national players already, aside from the fact na napakabigat pa rin ng support unit. So, the question is kung sino ang magko-contest. Kasi yung players talaga ni Coach Pat, matibay. Pero hindi niya kasalanan yun. Tinrabaho niya yun.
Oo.
Diba? Hindi naman pupunta sa'yo kung hindi mo hanapin. At saka talagang...
Naghahanap talaga siya. He pursues these players.
And the technical preparation also goes hand in hand, given that he also travels to participate sa TXC competition whole year round. Diba?
Coach, nabanggit mo na nga, mawawala na nga si Jack. So is it safe to say na safe yung on the road to 100 ni Coach Pat? Sabi mo ilan? 100?
110 and 112.
112, okay.
Masusweep mo ulit. Safe, yung sinasabi ko lang yun kasi yun ang next target nila. Safe, nothing is safe. Because injuries can come in and of course, Grace Irebo of UST is also going to be a big force for UST na nakarating na sa finals for the first time in the last 10 years.
That's right.
Sabihin ko ulit ito at ulit-ulitin ko, pag na-overcome mo na yung barrier at naintindihan at natutunan ng mga players kung paano makarating, mas mahirap na kalaban yun kasi marunong na eh.
Nagets na nila eh.
At saka, pupuntahan ka na rin ng ibang schools ulit ngayon. Especially, mawawala sa FAU si Claire Castro, ating gentle giant. So, that's going to be a big loss para sa FAU. But UST, I think, is going to be the main challenger for NU.
Aside from UST, may nakikita ka pang biggest threat to the streak and also
Adamson, of course. Adamson.
Okay.
Kasi pag sinabi nating women's basketball, with Iwan Aray at the helm, no? Alam naman natin na, alam mo, tinawag na yan na Michael Jordan ng UAAP dati dahil hindi mapigil eh. So, she knows how to win.
Yeah.
She just has to get the necessary talents.
Pieces, yeah.
And the bigger players to contend against, of course, the
likes
foreign
of
students
NU.
ng
Yeah.
mga makakalaban.
Coach, maraming salamat again for giving us a look ahead ng college basketball, NCAA, UAAP, sa men's and sa women's exciting times again in college basketball. We just had Sports Desk Analyst, one and only point laureate, Coach Ronnie Magsanoc. Now